At a royal palace in The Hague, King Willem Alexander hosted a formal dinner for the leaders of the NATO alliance. Among those in attendance, US President Donald Trump, NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, and heads of state from across Europe. But this wasn't just diplomacy, it was recognition. The Dutch king personally welcomed President Trump with words of friendship and unity. Then, Secretary General Rutte delivered a message that echoed across the alliance: Trump got results. Over $1 trillion in new defense spending, and Rutte made it clear, that's thanks to you, Mr. President. He openly thanked Trump for pushing NATO members to raise their defense budgets, something few had dared to do before. Watch now, as NATO leaders acknowledge the man who made them move.
The Queen and I are delighted to be hosting you tonight in this particular room. Because in 1899, my great-grandmother, Queen Wilhelmina, made this Oranjezaal available for the first Hague Peace Conference. Representatives of 26 countries attended, including the initiator of the conference, Tsar Nicholas II of Russia. The participants in those days were filled with the sense that peace would be everlasting. But behind the scenes, the first signs were already emerging of the arms race that would ultimately lead to the First World War. Peace, freedom, democracy, and the rule of law are our highest ideals. And yet history has taught us how fragile these values are if they're not protected. Where would we be without strong organizations that stand up for the defense of international stability, peace and freedom? Where would we be without NATO's firm resolve? Let us stay focused on what for 76 years has been the key to NATO's success. In the future, NATO will remain open to new members that share our values. We can't stand still. Events since 1989 have taught us that. Ours is fundamentally a defensive alliance. Others may call it aggressive, but that's only because they reject fundamental rights and freedoms and fear that their citizens may one day demand them.
To the Dutch government for organizing this NATO summit over the course of 2 days.
Mr. President, it means so much to us to welcome you in our home tonight. We cherish the bonds of friendship that will always unite our nations. Our friends and partners from the Indo-Pacific region are welcome in our circle as guests. And Ukraine, which for years has been embroiled in a daily struggle, making great sacrifices to defend its freedoms and ours, is welcome too. The people of Ukraine, with whom we feel such close ties, deserve our continuing support. It's impressive to see how we, as NATO countries, have succeeded in forming a shield behind which peace and freedom can flourish. A shield that's providing more and more people with protection. At the same time, every successful organization must always remain alert and have the courage to ask itself critical questions. Are we properly equipped for the challenges we face today? Is the division of costs and benefits amongst us sufficiently well balanced? How can our alliance operate more efficiently and effectively? These questions are especially relevant now that the threat posed by Russia and other hostile countries is taking on unprecedented new dimensions.
But it is all worth it. This truly is a historic summit. Well,
it's rightly argued that we need to make sufficient investments in our security and that there must be a balance in the financial contributions made by the members of the alliance. There can be no solidarity unless everyone shoulders their own responsibility. Perhaps, beside Article 5 of the NATO Treaty, there needs to be more focus on Article 3. The provision that says that, and I quote, parties, separately and jointly, will maintain and develop their individual and collective capacity to resist armed attack. These subjects are bound to come up in your discussions tomorrow. I know that you will address them with wisdom, and I have every confidence that the outcome will be a NATO that is stronger than ever.
tomorrow NATO allies will make a very big decision on defense investment that will go down in history as transformational. This will be something to celebrate. These decisions are rooted in NATO's core mission of protecting our 1 billion people and will make for a stronger alliance and a safer world. It will also be a massive achievement in making NATO fairer. For decades, the United States sought to get Europe to truly step up. Now, European allies and Canada will equalize their defense spending with the United States. So let me salute President Trump's long-standing leadership in calling for NATO to increase defense spending. Today, I am pleased to announce that NATO has already added an additional $1 trillion in defense spending over the past decade. Mr. President, dear Donald, that is thanks to you pushing us. And tomorrow we will build on that foundation and add trillions more in defense spending, because we need to do this. Their Majesties, King Willem-Alexander, Queen Maxima of the Netherlands, and thank you for hosting us at this beautiful place.